Hey everyone, welcome back to Nadlin Forum Podcast Daily. I'm Ruby Sturt, and as always, I'm here with Lior. Today's episode, mate, it's actually a bit of a plot twist in the rental market. For the first time since March, rents in the US have actually gone down year over year. That's according to the latest August data from Realtor.com. I honestly had to double check that headline to make sure my eyes weren't playing tricks on me after years of just price hikes and tough luck for renters.
Right. It's not a huge drop, but it's definitely a headline. We're talking about a 2.6% decrease from that August 2022 peak. Median asking rent for 0 to 2 bedroom apartments in the 50 biggest metros is now down $46 to $1,713 per month. And if you zoom in, even the studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, they all saw drops, like 2% or a little less, but still, after what renters have been through, it matters.
Totally. It's something renters can actually feel for the first time in a while. Well, maybe a little. Let's not get too carried away. Because what is it? Rents are still up about 17% compared to before the pandemic. That's brutal if you're just starting out or trying to get ahead, so it's hardly affordable for everyone. But I was talking to my cousin in Melbourne last week, and she just nabbed a bigger flat. She said her rent actually dropped enough that she could upgrade space, which, okay, different country, but she was stoked to have actual choice for once. So I guess it's that flexibility that renters are finally starting to see in a few places.
Yeah, we haven't had much of this flexibility in the US for years. Danielle Hale, the chief economist at Realtor.com, she's talking about how renters finally can make decisions based on more than just survival. Like, instead of, please don't raise my rent again, they can think, where do I want to live? Can I get a better space? But I gotta say, every time something shifts in the rental market, there's always a but attached. And the but here is exactly what you said. Rents are not cheap. This drop, it's kind of a correction? Not a sign that housing affordability is magically solved.
Yeah, it's like we're breathing through a straw and somebody just made the straw a tiny bit wider. You can feel it, but you're not going to run a marathon yet. Anyway, the story isn't just about numbers. It's what people are doing with that bit of room. People are making different choices, or at least starting to look around, which actually leads us straight into renter mobility. Who's actually moving and what's pushing them?
So, this is where it gets interesting. When rents were skyrocketing, like 2021, 2022, you pretty much had 80% of people staying in their current unit. Nobody wanted to risk a bigger rent jump. Mobility rate was stuck around 20.8%. But as rents have eased a little, people get curious, maybe even a bit hopeful. Now we're at 21.6% mobility in 2024. It's not a revolution, but the tides are changing. People are starting to move, looking for better deals or, like your cousin, more space.
Exactly. And I was reading, actually you pointed me to the Realtor.com survey. Most renters who are moving now say it's about money or lifestyle. They're like, okay, rents are a bit softer. I'll try for a bigger place or a new neighborhood or whatever suits my life right now. I mean, if you see the biggest rent drops, it's cities like Las Vegas, Atlanta, Austin. They're like minus 13.6% in Vegas and Atlanta, minus 13.4% in Austin. That's a lot. So you can see why those markets are suddenly drawing people in.
Yeah, and there's this thing. I think economist Jai Shu nailed it. Everyone is making trade-offs. People who have to stretch their budget, they might accept a longer commute or fewer amenities just to get into a better monthly rent. Middle-aged renters, they're looking for space for their families. Younger or older folks, they're chasing lower costs, sometimes at the expense of, building amenities or being close to the action.
Which honestly sounds a bit like musical chairs, but with apartments instead of, chairs. Oh, and building off our previous episode about the homeownership struggle, even though rents are inching down, it's still tough for folks to save up and buy, right? The average age for a first-time homebuyer hit 38 this year. Whole lot of people still renting, and what is it? More than half of renters surveyed say they still hope to buy in the next couple of years. Sometimes moving is about shoring up savings, not just upgrading flats.
Exactly. People want to get the most out of their rent situation, save a bit, make trade-offs, and stay flexible, which is what the market's demanding these days. With a little more negotiating power, tenants can maybe push for better deals. But affordability is still the main barrier, and that's not fading away. So yeah, if you're thinking about a move or just want to talk strategy, reach out. We're always happy to chat or suggest mortgage options. Any last words before we wrap it up, Ruby?
I reckon that's a good note to end on. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Whether you're making a move or waiting for the next rate drop, we'll be back soon with more real estate news you can actually use. Lior, lovely as always to have this chat. See you next time.
Take care, Ruby. And to all our listeners, stay smart, stay flexible. We'll talk soon.